fixing backs and dropping facts.
That's right, son. You're so good, man. You're so good.
Too easy, man.
I know,
Too
right?
easy. Hi, my name is Kai Blake,
And I'm Tom Larson.
and we are the boys
Of
Bass, coming at you like Tom Akazi, fixing backs and dropping facts. Today, what episode are we on? What are we talking about today?
17.
17, the
Maybe,
big
maybe.
1-7. Oh,
Yeah.
Lordy, man, I'm getting out of here just thinking about how much we've gone so far.
I know, right?
Let's go, man. What are we talking about
Well,
today, Tommy girl?
Last episode we talked about the controversy of whether to squat or not to squat.
Right.
So now we're going to talk about some of the default things that we see happen with squats that we need to correct. And actually, I think one of the biggest faults of squatting is the way therapists teach
I was
people
about
how
to say,
squat.
yeah, like we're teaching them these poor, well, not we, us.
No,
them.
no,
As a collective, I'll say, you know, there's some bad eggs and something, so we definitely need to clear the air, clear up how you're supposed to squat in the correct way of doing it, in a way that's going to be mechanically correct, biomechanically correct, and then just energy efficient when you're doing it, engaging the correct muscles while you're doing it.
Correct. Yeah, you know, so growing up, I've been lifting now for 33 years. Since I was like 2.
I was saying, yeah,
I'm 35.
I came out the womb doing squats, baby.
Well, we do actually come out of the
Yeah,
womb
bro,
kind of
yeah,
right?
better than I was
beautiful
now.
squats, because of that, right? So we all know how to squat correctly. It's just that we lose that over time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Particularly because of chairs.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But I remember when I first started lifting and doing squats, and I would be like going all the way down, full depth, and everyone kept saying, "Oh, you're gonna hurt your knees, you're gonna hurt your back, you're gonna do this and that." And I'm like, "You guys are the ones with hurt backs and
Oh
knees,
yeah,
not me."
yeah, I feel good. I feel
So
good.
I was doing good mechanics, going well below parallel. My knees were going out and over top of my toes. And you know, the cueing at that time was like, okay, don't go below parallel. Knees stay right over top of your toes, look pointing forward, all that kind of stuff. Right. And I think that came about because our mechanics got so poor because of sitting that they had to figure out a way to
Compensation.
squat.
They had to create the compensation for it.
Right. But actually, in research, I think they've shown that those kind of squat mechanics are even more detrimental to your knees than you know, squatting correctly.
Oh, for sure.
Full depth.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So let's show that. Let's show that
Yeah.
kind of squat pattern that therapists will still teach people
For sure.
how to do. Okay?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're gonna have Taylor come on in. Taylor, come on in.
Yeah, Taylor. This is Miss Taylor.
yeah.
She is our world-renowned tech over here, showing us all the great things of how to do the great squat. She has great squats, great
She has
squats, great
good
squats.
squat mechanics, but she's gonna show some poor squat mechanics
first,
So
yeah.
let's go sideways. Let's go sideways first. So
Come on,
step up,
yeah.
So typically, the therapist. I'll let you go ahead and show her, Kai. Cue her through that. What's going to happen?
What are we going to do first?
How people would teach how to like squat with poor mechanics. No
Yeah.
toes or knees not over top of toes.
So you'll
straight
see a
forward.
lot of times when people, they'll tell you squat, so first they'll say like stay real narrow or anything. So they'll say come on down, and you'll see them go like knees over, don't go over toes. So try to give it, so I want you to go down, you're going to almost push your butt back, but make sure your knees do not go past your toes. And a lot of times, so if you see, so if you look, she actually did pretty good. I think her notes came a little bit but oftentimes when people try to attempt that, you'll see that they'll actually they'll fall back because it's just not realistic. You have to kind of throw off the way the mechanics go and how that a lot of this mass up here goes. You got to off center that. So if you push too much going back, if I were trying to stand up and I'm way back here, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna fall back, go back in the waist. So a lot of times people will compensate. Another way that people do, you'll see, is when they squat. You'll see this a lot of times when they squat down, their trunk will come really far forward. Show me that real quick, Taylor. Real far forward. A lot of things that shows. It could be tight hip flexors, it could be tight dorsiflexors, all these kind of go. Another one we often see, going to flip over, I want you to do it facing the camera here. We call it a valgus collapse. Often, usually kind of showing a weakness of the glute med a lot of times, and the glutes are not firing. So we use what we often see people use. See, like you see weightlifters sometimes. People that are they're just trying to get the weight. If it's too heavy, yeah, when they're too really heavy and they can't do it, you start going to compensations. A lot of times the compensations go into these medial muscles. So you'll see like a valgus collapse. Can you show them that real quick? So you see how your knees are coming in together? Terrible.
That hurts my stomach.
It hurts my stomach. And I even get on my little, sometimes I see my little LOLs, my little old ladies will be sitting in the room and they'll be like this all day because they were taught so long just to keep everything together, but it's okay, sit like a man, baby. Yeah, man, spread it up, man. Spread it out.
But that's a good point. I just had one yesterday, you know, her default hip position was this sitting. And her squat position was like that.
Yeah.
She's having knee pain and hip pain and back pain. And it's like, well, you know, if you're sitting like this, you're training yourself to do that.
Exactly.
When you're doing these things.
Right.
So, yeah, perfect. For sure. Perfect. All right. So let's go over. So with that forward trunk lean, I think that's a big one. I think there's an ankle mobility issue.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So let's back up to the two. So there's different types of squats.
Right, yeah.
So when people are first learning squats, I think the best way there for them to learn squat is a front squat.
Oh, yeah.
Much less pressure on your back. You can use a goblet squat, or like she was showing with her hands out there, kind of counterbalance a little bit, right? But if they're still getting that excessive trunkling, that can often be a lot of ankle mobility issue, which could be a neuromuscular issue to posterior chain things not working right. So to correct that, the best thing to do is let's bring that plate over, and go ahead and face Kai, right? So if you get these patients with their heels up on this weights, kind of like a lifter, which lifters in Olympic lifting helps biomechanically, physics-wise, to create more force, but it'll help bypass this ankle mobility issue and let the patient squat better. Go ahead and show a squat with that. You know, so and make sure you're driving your knees outward as you do that, right? Yeah. And you can see how she's just kind of like straight up and down, like an elevator, right? Yeah. So that's beautiful. That's perfect. Cool.
And I'll say another thing we see often. So every time when we like do our evaluations and we're checking patients out, we're asking them to squat. A common thing, I didn't even tell you about this, but a lot of common thing we'll see, first thing that people do is they'll squat down. I want you to squat down and you're gonna lift your heels up. So squat down like you're trying to lift your heels. So you'll see just like that. So what happens is they'll do like, man, I can't squat, and they'll feel all that in their knees. When you're doing that, that puts all the force. So when you're going down, as opposed to you using your heels to get that posterior chain to fire, you're using all this anterior, this front part to go, and everything's going towards your knees. So when you squat, you always want to try to keep your heels down while you're going down, just so the fire. So put all your weight up at the bottom of the squat. You should be able to wiggle your toes. So your weight should be distributed more midfoot to posterior, the end of the back of the foot, the heel, when you're going down. And so I'm gonna show her, she can go like depth wise, she's amazing. Go ahead and show us a really good squat.
Good squat. Good.
Beautiful.
Good.
There you go.
Beautiful. And go ahead and just rest in that squat.
Yeah, just stay down there.
Yeah, so she can just rest
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the Asian squat,
Yeah,
see that,
yeah,
right?
yeah. We lose that. We lose that. Like I said, I mean, you see patients like older, the different countries. A lot of times, that's just a comfort place to be. That's just a comfortable place to be, and that's what it should be for us. You see little babies, kids running around. They're sitting down there. They're resting, or they're talking to their friends in that position because that's their comfort. That's their rest. Not complaining about knees, not complaining about backs, not complaining about ankle, whatever it is. That's just the comfort position. That's what we're supposed to be able to do. But we lose that, like Tom said earlier, chairs. Sitting in chairs all day and being in this position, shortening our hip flexors and making those all in the contracted position and not able to fire like they're supposed to.
Cool. Great job.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you.
Amazing job.
Amazing. She's amazing.
Perfect. Just perfection. Just perfection. Right?
You know, and it's oftentimes that we see patients that kind of surprise me too. You know?
Oh yeah.
Especially some
older.
Folks,
oh man.
They come in and they'll squat right now. Like, dang.
And they'll just go straight to it. And I'm like, never expected that from you, but
right. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But you know, really, in research, they show that in those third world countries where they squat all the way down to rest like that, their risk of back and hip and knee and ankle issues, pain issues, much less.
Oh yeah, very decreased, very reduced in comparison compared to us good old Americans over here.
So you know, I don't squat that well.
Yeah.
I know you don't.
Oh man, listen, I would have been the person to show up because Taylor's here. I needed to talk.
You just showed the default bad.
Right. That's what I should have been. The natural, like, it's how not to do
it. Right? But you know, even for me anymore, I do a lot more front squats. I use lifters, and when I do that kind of stuff, man, my squats are beautiful.
It's a game changer, right?
Yeah, I would say game changer. Because I have an ankle mobility issue. I think I broke this ankle a long time ago, and it just doesn't work very well.
And I say the first time, because I didn't know about lifters until meeting up with Tom, and that changed my whole thing because I have my terrible, like I said, the ankle. So, and I'll say just a quick little thing. It's a little quick, but the reason why you need to be that, why the ankles have so much to do with it is when you're squat down, especially when your knees are going forward, you have to what's called like a anterior translation, so that tibia, this is your tibia, going over the talus has to go a little bit forward. And if your ankles or if your calves are too tight, they're not going to be able to translate in that direction, causing you to offset it. So that's why you see people going forward to offset that weight because they can't control it in the back way.
And then the problem is that puts a lot of strain on your low back.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure.
So more back issues.
Exactly. So, yeah.
You just gotta watch that, especially in the low.
And a lot of people don't even know they're not going depth wise. They're going forward. They're here and they're thinking like this, and so it ends up doing like an RD. I don't know what.
Like a real strong good boy.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So, man, just learn those squat mechanics.
Oh yeah.
If you have to add something in there to be able to do it correctly, like a lift or something like that, great. Try to keep the trunk up as much as you can. Make sure you're driving the knees outward. It's okay for the knees to go way over top of the toes. If you look at pictures of Olympic lifters overhead squats, man, their knees are like 4 or 5 inches over top of the toes.
Oh yeah.
And they're lifting heavy weights too. Or check out your baby, your grandbaby, niece and nephew, 2-3 years old that squats down like that is beautiful.
And I say to people who's been squatting for all the time and been doing all this, and they see this, they're like, oh, I don't squat like that at all. It's okay to scale back on that weight, and then build it back up doing the proper. If you feel like you're having to compensate or change your squat in order to get the weight up, you're doing too much. So.
And you go back to
What's that?
The process.
The process.
You massage tissues, you activate cells, and you swap.
Yes. Perfection.
Cool. Awesome. Until next time, go out, live, work, and play better inside your body. Peace out.
Peace.